This is a time for silent meditation where you can go within and connect with the divine. So please join me and go to that special place within. And know as we connect with the divine that Spirit lives within us. The presence of God is there. Slowly come back into the room and thank your higher power for this time together. So my talk today is about coming from a pure heart. And when the beginning of the week, I had wrote a whole different talk for today. And then about Wednesday, I was like, no, I don't like that talk. So I kind of trashed it. And I kind of just really went in and did some meditation, and this popped up. So I hope that you like it. There's a lot of meaning in it. There's some great messages from the Dalai Lama and Mother Teresa. So we may have often hear references to the state of our heart center, which is the spiritual energy center for our being. Phrases like the pure of heart, having a golden heart, and reference to having a pure intent. These expressions sound so nice, but really, what do they really mean? Perhaps Mother Teresa can explain it best. Keep your heart pure. A pure heart is necessary to see God in each other. If you see God in each other, there is love for each other, and then there is peace. So often our vision of others may be less than kind, and for whatever reason we may have, we permit negative to cloud our judgment. Yet, when we recognize the spark of the true creative source that is in each of us, see God as it were, and we can then offer ourselves from a higher perception with kindness and love. Be kind to yourself. Love is God. Thus, to love and receive the real benefit of God's love, we must give up that finite self within us and do deeds for the sake of our fellow man. Do something kind today or this week. Show kindness to a fellow person. Coming from a pure heart means we recognize that we all have this spark of God within us, even if at the time that spark may be glazed over by anger, upsetment, jealousy, or envy. It is all in our perception of life. Is life good to you? It is when you view your world with sincerity, of purpose, and refinement of your heart. And where there's pure love, there is no room for anger of any kind. The ability to give love is what sets us apart from those who cannot. In order for us to work from a pure heart, we must be able to give of ourselves in some way, shape, or form. Giving of ourselves is not as hard as it sounds, because we all have given in different ways. Sometimes it may just be the smile in your voice. Other times it might be a quiet action. Accepting all beings, no matter the color of their skin, the language in which they communicate, or the path to oneness they chose to follow. Even as to whether they walk on 2 or 4 feet, or have wings or fins, it's collectively to acceptance of our own blindness. That which makes us different keeps us interesting. Don't you agree? We're all so different. Each of us is an individual part of the whole, and we all have to forge our own path. The Dalai Lama says, I believe that whether a person follows any religion or not is unimportant. He must have a good heart. When we treat ourselves with love, it becomes second nature for us to treat others in a like manner. A simple way to break the ice and begin to show others more love is to smile at our reflection in the mirror. Think about that. Do you truly look in the eyes of yourself when you look in the mirror? Do you smile at who you came to be? Do you say, I love you? You're great, you're marvelous, you're beautiful. Try it if you haven't done it. This may sound strange, but if we can maintain eye contact with ourselves and smile, it's an important step to giving ourselves love. I'm not suggesting here that selfish love is the goal. No. Being good to our bodies and soul and liking what we see is the difference. A smile is infectious. When we feel comfortable about smiling at ourselves, we will naturally feel comfortable with smiling at others. Smile is the key that fits the lock of everybody's heart. Think about it. You just smiling at somebody can make their whole day. Here is an interesting point. The heart of a child that has been treated with love and nurtured is filled with an incredible joy that steeps out of every particle of their being. They cannot help but reflect that which they have received. Why? Because their hearts are innocent and pure. The experience of life is not jagged, their behavior. Think about that. Little children have no fear. They're just filled with giggles and love. When a child giggles, it comes from deep within them, and those who witness this experience of wonderment cannot help but smile themselves. Children have the greatest gift to give us. We just take time to smile at them. The young can teach us many things, and for us, there is no better lesson than to experience life through the eyes and the heart of a wee one, right? Grown men can learn from very little children, for the hearts of little children are pure. Therefore, the Great Spirit may show to them many things which older people miss. It's from Black Elk. An understanding of nature's spiritual law is helpful to those who seek to establish purity of heart as a basis for their being. The 2 most important spiritual laws break down in simple terms. Do everything that you say you will do, and do not interrupt or interpret in another's personal space. Think about that. Give somebody time to share without trying to fix them. Just let them talk. Share from their heart. By incorporating these 2 simple spiritual laws into our everyday actions, we break the bonds of karma and allow everything to be as it should be, the good of the whole. Our world is golden. Keeping our word through promises and deeds and allowing others the space to have the experience they need maintains the balance. necessary to express impersonal, unconditional love. When pure sincerity forms within, it is outwardly realized in other people's hearts. Be kind. Jesus, speaking through Christ's consciousness, explains that in directing ourselves from a sincere place with our whole heart, we allow soul to manifest the wholeness of the one true creating source. This is not as complicated as it may sound. It simply means that opening one's heart to real love, unconditional, and completely accepting love. We rise to the purity of the experience and therefore see the wisdom of the Creator in all things. Jesus the Christ said, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." Love is our greatest gift, and it costs us nothing. It cannot be purchased for any monetary price, and when given freely without condition, it opens the spiritual energy center, increasing the inflow and outflow of positive. Love is the renewing resource that binds us together in oneness. Love does not come to those who seek it, but to those who give love. It is a binding force between souls who we have nothing to give but themselves to one another. Open the heart center may be hard for some of us who have sealed the edges shut for years and years of negative experience. Yet even negative experience have purpose. We can turn a negative experience into a positive one by gleaming the lessons offered and moving on, leaving the experience behind us as we ascend to our fullest, highest potential as loving beings. Visualization and spiritual exercise are useful in opening the heart center. So is the use of positive affirmations. These are activities that leave permanent imprints on the higher mind, which then can trickle down out into our lives naturally, like a feeder, nourishing soul from the higher planes. This takes work on our part. We must be willing to try new things, listen to different ideas, and take what we need from them while leaving the rest. Think about it. When you have a negative thought, turn it immediately to a positive one. Say, that doesn't exist in my mind. I'm done with that. Move on. There's always a gift. Your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens. Carol Young. Let me read that again. Your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams, but who looks inside awakens. Facing life will always be a challenge, but the challenge doesn't have to be a conflict. When we look at life through a pure heart with loving intent, we will begin to recognize that the roller coaster we are riding is actually enjoyable. And each up and down has its benefit and opportunity for spiritual growth. So this week we look on how to love is more than just an emotion. Love is a force in your life. Whole month of February is about love when we stop and think about it. Every day is to say, thank you, God, for another day. I love being alive. So let's create more love. Researchers have shown that the heart is one of the most powerful organs in the body. I believe in heart power for manifestation. The effects of a wounded heart can become so embedded in our daily lives that its lingering impact often goes unrealized. Let's release those emotional heart walls so that the power of love can become a driving force in your life. Breaking through heart walls empowers you to heal deep wounds so you can love yourself more and more. Self-love is the pathway to loving others, creating increased income and building the life you love. ultimately breaking through the pain and fulfilling your potential is essential. Love yourself. Be kind. Be gentle. We never know how long we're going to be here. Each day is a precious day. Forgive those and let them go. Let them rest. So in closing, coming from a pure heart, love is God in action. Love is our greatest gift, and it cost us nothing. It cannot be bought for any price. When given freely, without condition, love opens our spiritual energy center and increases the circulation of positive. Love is the renewable resource. It is the unity. It is oneness. Remember, be kind to yourself. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.
Namaste.